Today's reading is Joshua 19 through 22. You may remember from our reading in Numbers that the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and a portion of Manasseh requested to settle east of the Jordan River. Though this was outside the land God had originally promised, Moses granted their request on one condition. They had to fight alongside the other tribes in the conquest of Canaan. After the death of Moses, they reaffirmed their commitment to Joshua, pledging to remain loyal to their promise. Having fulfilled their responsibilities, Joshua released them to return to their land east of the Jordan. However, before they departed, he issued a final charge for them to diligently keep the commandments of the Lord and to serve the Lord with all of their heart and with all of their soul. Upon arriving home east of the Jordan, these tribes built an altar and named it Ed, meaning witness. When word reached the western tribes, they were alarmed. Assuming it was an act of rebellion, they journeyed east to confront their brothers, warning them of the dangers of unfaithfulness. They reminded them of past sins that had brought God's judgment, like Balaam's deception and Achan's disobedience. Had these tribes already forgotten the consequences of unfaithfulness and rebelling against the word of the Lord? Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh explained that the altar was not built for sacrifice, but for remembrance, a testimony to future generations that they too were part of God's people. Yet their separation from the rest of Israel had already created some suspicion. Bible commentator Warren Wiersbe observes, "The stones may have been a witness, but the people certainly were not. Surrounded by heathen nations and separated from their brothers and sisters across the river, these tribes quickly fell into idolatry and were eventually taken by Assyria." Brothers and sisters, we must remain faithful to God and stay connected to His people. A memorial cannot replace true obedience, and distance from God's people often leads to spiritual drift. Let your life, not just your words, be a witness.